Is actors access a bad thing? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? That is a common topic of conversation that occurs whenever there is cast information, or more specifically, character information about television shows and movies. And more specifically, since this is what I cover on YouTube, I'm talking about the Tyler Perry stuff. Whenever, the Oval Sisters, a Medea film, whatever show that or movie it is, there is always a breakdown of the various characters in any given project, along with the writer, producer credits, the production dates. Now, it's a site where, that's one of the best places to go if you're someone who is looking to get in some sort of, Tyler Perry project. And it's like, wait, I want to, try to get the role of, a background character or something like that. Well, that's the place to go. And I mean, I want to be blunt about it. I don't really care, because here's the thing. As the years have gone on and the channel has gotten bigger, I've tried to be better at not covering intel that isn't public, up for public discussion. Like spoilers are spoilers, and I know some people don't like them, but for me, so long as any information is available for you to find online in some way, shape, or form, and it's available for public consumption, I feel no guilt about doing videos on it. Now, it's different, and I'm not saying names, but, I've been in this for, what is it, April? In like a few months, it will be like 7 years total, but there have been a number of different people who are, either cast members or people behind the scenes who have told me things, who have sent me things like pics and whatnot. And I know for a fact, if I would have posted them, it would have spoiled some really big storylines well in advance. But I chose not to, because I'm like, nah, because I mean, if I post that kind of thing, I know people will be asking questions like, where did you get this? And like, no, man, that's going to spoil this. And I just had a gut impulse not to do it on those occasions. I feel like I get why this person sent it me, because we're cool, but I feel like I'll probably get them and some other people in trouble, so I opted not to post them. And I'm not just talking about BET, so I'm talking like way back too. But it's just one of those things where if it's public consumption, I want to talk about it. And also, I mean, sometimes the titles of the videos might throw you off, like, wait, what? That's going to happen? But it is what it is. I know that I've had people give me flack sometimes, not recently, I'm talking about years ago, when I would do videos on the freaking episode synopsis. And when I say episode synopsis, I mean like 1 or 2 weeks in advance. And I'm like, no, I don't feel guilty about doing that, because if you go to your TV guide, it will show you right there, if you scroll far enough, hey, if Loving You Is Wrong, the synopsis for season 5, episode 14 is this, but we're only on episode 10. This is spoiling. No. And I mean, it's just like when it comes to the Marvel films, and I always use them as an example because, they're like the biggest media franchise or close to it. Whenever there's a behind the scenes, like, hey, did you see, the Falcon on set, or did you see Tom Holland on set, or this or that? And that just blows up. And I'm not doing that. I'm just talking about like the dang descriptions that anybody can find online. So to me, actors access, I can see why some people be like, dang it, man, it's like we're barely even halfway through this current season. Now here's all this information about the next season. I get that. That's understandable, but it is what it is. It's kind of like with me, I think the most recent situation where I'm like, I don't know if I want to cover it, was the, was it the Joe's College road trip or the Medea destination wedding? I know it was earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken. It was in January when some people were at a location like right where they were filming a few scenes of that movie, and they recorded it on their phone, and then it got a lot of traction online on TikTok and Instagram. And I'm like, I opted not to cover that simply because it's like, I mean, in some of those videos, you can see like the security saying, please back away, please cut off your phones. And I didn't want to add to the fuel of the fire by sharing that kind of stuff, because I'm like, it wasn't, see what I mean there? That stuff wasn't meant to be seen by the general public. And even though it kind of went semi-viral in its own right, I didn't want to use my platform to spread it even further. Now, that doesn't mean at some point I won't cover it, like when the movies are out or something, but that's way down the line after the movie itself has been revealed to the public. But, it's just, I guess, somebody said integrity. I guess that's the word for it. It's like, I guess I have my own sort of integrity and sense of morality in what I will and won't cover. Like, I don't want to spoil things too much, only in the sense of what I find out isn't available for someone who, wanted to go out of their way. Some of these things are a bit like Actors Access. I feel like most people don't go out of their way to look at Actors Access, but there are a number of different social media accounts that are, Tyler Perry focused on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot that post all these things. And I'm like, at that point, hey, I want to cover it, because guess what? It's sent to me. I'm tagged in the post, so why not? So let me know what you think. Do you think Actors Access stuff should stay under wraps, or do you think it doesn't really matter? I mean, you choose to click on a video when it talks about spoilers. You choose to, follow a platform like an Instagram page that posts all the Actors Access stuff. So it's like, at what point do you take accountability? Don't get me wrong. It's just like spoilers for any franchise have gotten so ridiculous at this point that the only way to avoid them is to like not be on social media at all. Like, hey, I don't want to know how the Ninja Turtle movie ends, or I don't want to know if such and such a character died in the recent Marvel film or the Disney Plus shows. You literally got to go dark. I know for me, what was it, a year or two ago, when Ash fought Leon in the finals of the Masters 8 tournament, a friend and I from I used to work with at the call center, we had both followed the series, and we're like, hey man, what we both need to do, we need to get up like at 5 or 6 a.m. when they drop the final episode of the tournament and just watch it when it gets released from Japan, because we watched it online. I think he was like 3 minutes ahead of me when he watched it. No, I watched it before him, and that was the only way we could watch the final battle, to see who won without any spoilers. And it's funny because the Pokemon website and all spoiled that Ash won like 15 minutes after the episode dropped. So we were lucky, and it felt so good. Just like with X-Men 97, watching the episodes week to week without any spoilers, aside from just episode titles, which most of the titles, you would have to be a die-hard fan of the original series and know every little thing in order to catch it, like remember it. I'm like, yeah, that's Gambit's catchphrase. Well, that not catchphrase, but he said it in one episode of the original series, and now that line is just so symbolic now because of how he went out in episode 5. But yeah, I mean, let me know, do you care about Actors Access and other platforms? I mean, there are other websites like that drop almost, if not every single episode title and synopsis for a season of one of these shows before it airs. Like, I know IMDb used to be my go-to place, but there have been other websites that do it a lot better and quicker. So yeah, sorry about the rambling, but I just wanted to get your thoughts. How do you feel about things being released? Does it ruin the show for you, or do you just go, meh? I mean, it's just like, you can't blame McDonald's for being obese if you choose to go there each and every day for lunch, breakfast, and dinner just because you live like right across the street from it, or it's in walking distance, or you just Uber Eats or something. So, hey, you choose what you consume. Enough said.